here with at CPAC Mexico with the president of Mis amigos migrantes, pues aquí estoy.
Total catastrophe, and it is a crisis.
Of a child right there. All these NGOs, you're fake. It is this, the crisis of children.
I'm sorry. There you go. How's everybody doing? Let me just go again. How's everybody doing? Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. Thank you so much for joining in. Today it is January 6th, January 26th. The time is 3:10 in the West Coast time. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining in. Buy me a coffee. It is right there pinned in the chat for people who want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. Buy me a coffee. It is right there. It will help me a lot as we are trying to be travel soon, and we are going to go again. Right now, it is really important to report on all the borders of what is happening, so we're trying to get the funds so we can start traveling as soon as possible. So your help, it is much needed. Everything will go to our travel fund. So thank you so much for joining in. God bless you. Like the video, share the video, like the video. So how incompetent can you be? And these communists, these socialists, they're extremely incompetent. This administration, it is not playing around. It is not playing around with immigration. It is not playing around with anything that they said. Everything that they have said until this moment, they have followed through every single situation, every single word. They're keeping their word to the American people. That is, for me, remarkable, incredible. And it looks like America's back, right? Everybody's saying America's back. And it is so astonishing to see yesterday as we were reporting that the wall is being constructed again. The wall is again on full-on construction. Mass deportations are happening. That I will put a massive interview that I just posted on X just a couple of hours ago of a migrant that just got deported and that he was going to pay $15,000 to cross to the United States. I'm just looking at this guy and their family members were going to pay $15,000. And I'm like, why don't you just find a way with those $15,000 to do in business over here? It's just unbelievable. But we're going to have a couple of interviews. Also, we're going to clear the information on this plane that it was neglected to land from the United States and Mexico. It was miscommunication. It was not exactly like the situation that is happening with the incompetent mercenary president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro. That, for everybody to understand, that is a problem. With Mexico, every single deportee has been admitted, and even they already have shelters for them. When they come out, they don't have a place to go. They already have shelters for them to go. So what happened with this mercenary incompetent, and I will say incompetent, because there's no other way that this guy has been so incompetent to deny. You actually can find this in our website, what just happened, and that President Petro, Gustavo Petro, who he was not invited to the inauguration. Why? Because he's an incompetent communist. That's the only reason why. Gustavo Petro was not invited, and there were two planes that they were about to land into Colombia with people that they're considered to be criminals. deported from the United States into Colombia. And the Colombian president denied the two planes. Denied the two planes from landing. It's just amazing how the audacity of this man. And I will say why the audacity. Let me just put myself on screen. This man made billions of dollars, billions, with the organized crime and the Cartel of el Clan del Golfo. Billions of dollars to the Darien Gap. Billions of dollars with migrants of China. Billions of dollars with migrants of Afghanistan. Billions of dollars with migrants of all over the world. And he's not even accepting Venezuelans, and he's not even accepting his own people. Look how crazy these mercenary communists are. These people need to be prosecuted and be immediately removed from these charges, man, from this position of a president. They need to be immediately removed. And they make the most incompetent decisions. So the article says, let me put it on screen. The article says that Gustavo Petro did not accept two flights from landing with deportees on the United States. And he quoted this. He said, the United States cannot be treating the migrants from Colombia as they are criminals. We have not authorized planes from the United States with migrants from Colombia to land in our territory. The United States needs to establish a protocol of treating with dignity the migrants before we receive them. Look at this. This, man, I want to yell at the screen at how incompetent this guy is. So these people broke the law. These people, they're saying that were physically abused and refused to physically abuse and refuse to the bathroom. Boo-hoo. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. You were neglected to go to do pee-pee. Oh, wow. That is why, because we're stopping the planes. Yeah, everything is going to be, now it's going to come to pandering. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. This is what I'm saying. These people broke the law. There's a process. I'm a pro-migrant guy. I believe migration is a human right, but there's a process and there's a law. And you need to follow that process. And also, people need to be treated humanely, right? Why these people that they are saying, as your comment is saying right here. Let me just go to your comment, brother. Let me just go. Do you mind if I put you on? And don't attack this guy. He has been following me for the longest time. I can't find you. But you just said, they say that they mistreated them and they didn't let them go to the bathroom. Were they mistreated when they were trafficked by the cartel? Were they mistreated when they were risking their lives through the Darien Gap? Were they mistreated when they were paying the cartel in Nicoclí, Colombia, to be trafficked to the jungle? Were they mistreated when they pay the cartel in Central America to not be extortioned, to not be kidnapped? Were they mistreated when they were paying the cartel between Guatemala and Mexico? Were they mistreated when they were paying the cartel between Mexico and the United States? And now you are complaining that you are being mistreated because you can't go to do pee-pee. You got to be kidding me with this. This is only a make-up story for these ACLUs and these NGOs to put just class action lawsuits and to sue the government, to continue with this lucrative business out of just human misery. Stop. It is not going to work. So President Petro said this, right? He said this. He said that he's not going to accept them, that they need to be just being processed humanely. But meanwhile, this mercenary president made billions of dollars out of his own people, out of the people of Venezuela, out of the people of Asia and China, out of all the people. He made billions of dollars. But now he's saying, you know what? I'm not going to accept them. So this was the first article, right? It was the first one. It is the first communicated statement immediately after Donald Trump and the Trump administration found out that these planes, they were neglected. This came in. This tweet right here from Donald Trump. And they are not playing around, people. They are not playing around. This came in and said, I was just informed. Donald Trump posted this. I was just informed that the two repatriation flights from the United States, sorry about my accent, from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals was not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular among his people. He's extremely unpopular. Nobody wants him. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States, of course. So I have directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. Look at the words that he's using. The current administration of the United States of America, for everybody that is watching, they're not, I wish that I can say the F word. They're not playing around. They are not playing around. They're sick and tired of it, and they're going to do their job, whether you like it or you don't like it. And he uses the word urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. That is a big word. Retaliatory measures. It's a sense of retaliation. Big word. And he goes, emergency, 25% tariff on all goods coming into the United States in 1 week. The 25% tariffs will be raised to 50%. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals in cargo and national security grounds. IEEPA, Treasury banking and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. These measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its illegal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of the criminals they force into the United States. This is Donald Trump. Now, this has a consequence. Petro, you're really stupid. And I will tell you why he's really stupid. Well, every communist, stupid is and stupid does. You know, but what you have done, Petro, you just red flag yourself. So immediately you come back with, I will put the article in. You came back with the, okay, I will send my presidential plane to pick them up, and I will make sure that they're being treated as human possible. You just responded to this post of Donald Trump. Too little, too late. I will tell you why too little, too late. You just red flag yourself. Even though you just hide and you just immediately said, oh my God, I'm going to be tariff. And this is going to cause an enormous fracture in my economy, an enormous fracture in my country. You know who you got a call from, Petro? That made you post that and immediately put it on a Twitter, on an X post. Do you know who immediately told you, Petro, stop. We don't want no heat over here. Do as they say. But you just are so arrogant. These communists are so prepotent, so arrogant that they do not care. And you know who told Petro, take that down and put this up? Even say that you're going to send the presidential plane to pick them up. You know who told him? Their boss, El Cartel. The Medellin Cartel, the Clan del Golfo Cartel, Why? Because there's going to affect them in their pockets, in their businesses. And immediately Petro was like, he received like, what are you doing, you dumb, ba-da-ba-ba. Take that down, receive them. Even send the presidential plane. I don't care if you want to do it out of pride. Send the presidential plane, pick them up, receive them. We're going to get hit. And not only that, it's not because of the tariff. It's because of what's coming. And that you're not going to take it away. Do you think Trump accidentally posted this? No, he knew that you were going to back off. To Petro, let me just put myself on the screen. He knew that you were going to back off. But now he has an incredible justification or an excuse. Donald Trump has an incredible justification as it is right now. Give it a like to the video and share the video. Like the video and share the video. Now he has an incredible excuse and justification to tell you, if you don't slow down the cocaine, if you don't dismantle your trafficking rings, if you don't dismantle the fentanyl that you have on your country that is contaminating Central America, South America, Europe, Mexico, and the United States, I am really going to put the tariff. So it's not only that you are going to receive the people that you send in your country, but now I have a justification to put a threat of a tariff on you, because now I can say, hey, you mercenary, you just bend the knee to me. This communist, incompetent imbecile, sorry for my language, but this is the way it is. He just completely put a rope up in his neck and hung himself. He just did it. He just did it on his own. You know, nobody was bothering him. He did not get invited to the presidential celebration of the United States, and everybody was like, "You're not invited," and he said, "I don't care," and nobody was putting attention to him. He's like, whatever. You had to open your mouth. Now Donald Trump has a huge justification to put a threat of a tariff on your country to slow down the trafficking of cocaine and fentanyl. Exactly what he's doing, and he is going to do to Mexico. If they don't slow down the pace of fentanyl into their country, he's going to put a 25% tariff. Slow down the pace of mass illegal migration, he's going to put a 25% tariff, as he's going to do with China. Put a 10% tariff if they continue with the trafficking of fentanyl. Now he's going to do it to you. You just had to open your mouth. Had to say, I'm not going to receive them. This is when stupid meets stupid himself. This is when Petro just hit himself on the face and he's like, oopsie, I think I just red flagged my whole country. Now he's going to come after me. Now I'm in his eye. Now I'm in his sight. Now I have his attention. And believe me, Petro, you don't want Trump to be, you don't want to bully Trump. He's the king of those kind of situations. And I'm just not praising Trump. He has been, man, he trolls every single individual. And he uses it as a strategy to basically gain momentum. Now you are under his radar. And because you are under his radar, immediately you posted this. I think, where is it? No. Where is it? I think it is right here. You posted after you messed up. You posted this. And you said, the Colombian president responds to Trump saying that he's going to use his presidential plane to go and pick up the deportees. And here is his tweet. He said, attention, President Gustavo Petro has put in this position the presidential plane for the dignified return of the co-nationals, and he will implement a leadership of strength, to the Extraordinary Assembly of the SELAC, which I don't even know what it means. But now everything changes. Now immediately, ay, no, hijo de la chinga, me va a poner un arancel, hombre, espérate. You got a call from your buddies. And your body's told you, take that down. Your body's your buddies told you, hey, you know what? You need to take that down. Take that down. Oscar, where's the coffee link? Donated before. It's on top of the chat. Buy me a coffee is right there. Pin in the chat. People want to contribute. It is right there. And it's also it's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. He just red flagged himself. It's unbelievable what he did. It's just incredible what he did. And now, now he's on it's on Trump's radar. And he didn't like it at all that he just turned down some planes with people that they were returning home. No, he didn't like it at all. So a lot of people have been asking me, this is amazing. I was today also with the great Chuck Holton. We spent 3 days. Amazing to be with my mentor. Chuck Holton is an American badass. Let me just tell you like it is. And I'm sorry for my French, but that's the way it is. He's a former Ranger and he's a war correspondent. He has written so many books that I am, and he reads the Bible to me. He memorizes some scriptures, and it's just amazing human being. And today we started working really early, right? We went to the mountain to do a couple of hits for Newsmax. He did a couple of hits. Then he told me, Oscar, let's go back. I got a hit over there. Let's go back to the port of entry of El Chaparral. When we were there, I was noticing that there were people getting deported and people getting returned back. A lot of these people are Mexican. So I was curious to see 2 individuals that were sitting down. And one of them, I went over there and I started talking to him. And look what the Trump effect has done. What the Trump effect has caused is that the cartel now is getting hit in their pockets. So now to just basically traffic a migrant through a non-port of entry at this particular moment in juncture, they are charging $15,000. Also, they are charging $1,000 for piso. Piso, what it is, a tax of they're adding $1,000 more to the $15,000. Those $1,000 is for just the migrant to walk through the territory where he's going to get trafficked. That is the payment to the cartel, right? So everybody's asking, where did he get these $15,000? He doesn't have it. His family members in the United States have it. This is why Chuck Holton has said we need to put taxes on remittances, on a remittance, for all this money that is being sent and being used illegally and illicitly, to be taxed. Because this money, it is actually now being used, a lot of it is being used to migrants to cross over illegally, right? So this guy basically said, I was charged $15,000. I didn't pay the $15,000. I was going to get paid the $15,000 as soon as they crossed me to the United States. So what happened? He got caught. We have seen a lot of these migrants that they tried to cross immediately after Donald Trump was inaugurated. Still, they want to cross, and still they believe that they can cross. And migrants and people that they were deported, they were telling us over there that there's a massive operation now of Border Patrol agents, Marines, and I want to clarify that for the people that they're watching. I made a post on X saying active soldiers are being sent to the south border. And apparently the Marines got upset. They're like, those are not soldiers. Those are Marines. You better correct yourself, you dumb la, la, la. And I'm like, okay, I'm translating. English is my second language. I'm translating from Spanish to English. And in Mexico and in Spanish, un soldado, a soldier, it is basically of all branches, right? But in the United States, they got into their feelings. So it says like, oh, a soldier is from the army, a Marine is a Marine. They're like, okay. And it said active. Active is if you see a soldier, or if you see, in your case, a Marine or an Army soldier, if you see one of those in the streets or because we see them over here in the streets patrolling, fighting the cartel. If you see them in the streets carrying their gun, it's because they're active. It's because they're going to work somewhere. It's because they're going to do something. I try to translate that, and apparently a lot of Marines got upset. They're like, oh my God, why are you saying like, oh my God? I'm like, oh, these people. Do you get it? Yes, I get it. Okay, so what is the whole deal? But okay. So this is what we're getting. We're getting information that they're saying that there is a massive operation of Border Patrol agents in these critical open border gap spots. And that not only that, that they are having the Marines there, the migrants are telling us, and the migrants are telling us that they are flying drones. Now the technology, as they are flying drones, it's amazing. It's unbelievable. Now they're implementing technology. This is the report that I did, and it's posted on X. Look at the captions to this migrant in the interview. It's just what he says is unbelievable. The amount of money that he was going to pay. He didn't pay it, but he was going to pay, and he got deported back. You know, a lot of people are saying with 15,000 you can start a business. Yeah. It's amazing. Look at this report. Stations are happening as we speak. There's people right here in the back. Also, there's a guy right here that just got deported on the left side. People are getting deported consistently. Also, these taxis that are here, they're being rented by the municipal city to take the deportees to the shelter. This lady right here that she's getting up with the black jacket, she just gave us statements that the United States Border Patrol in the areas in the east part of Tijuana in the mountains, at a place that I have been in that is called Nido de las Águilas, which they have been trafficking enormously people through there. There's a massive operation of the United States Border Patrol. That's what she said. And even that the United States Border Patrol is using drones to identify and to fly them over to basically locate every illegal alien that is crossing illicitly into the United States of America. Hear this interview by this migrant that just told us that he crossed exactly also through that particular area, and that they were charging him $15,000 to cross into the United States, and also they were charging him $1,000 of a tax fee, the cartel, to just get him to the place to get traffic. Amazing how the prices had gone up. That is what he said, because of the Trump administration coming into this next term. Estamos con otro migrante que recientemente también fue deportado. Cuéntanos su historia.
La verdad, no, ya está muy difícil pasar. Hay mucha migra. Ya ni siquiera nos llegar al destino. Ya nada más nos agarraron y pues, nos levantaron y nos deportaron.
O sea, hay un operativo muy fuerte en Estados Unidos para detener.
Sí.
Es una realidad entonces.
Sí, ya no se puede. De hecho, ya hasta cobran más caro los coyotes.
¿A cuánto cobraban?
Pues a mí me cobraban $15,000 por pasarme.
$15,000 te cobraban por pasarte.
Sí.
Eso es lo que te iban a cobrar.
Sí.
Vaya, y los acercaron y los aventaron ahí al paradero, así nada más. Le dijeron que caminen, ¿o qué pasó?
Sí, pues de hecho mi coyote nada más, como vio que ya venía la migra, nos pasó a abandonar y se fue. Y ahí nos dejó tirados, íbamos 4.
¿Los 4 mexicanos o de diferentes
Éramos
partes?
4 mexicanos de Guanajuato.
De Guanajuato. Vaya, $15,000.
Sí.
Y no alcanzaron a pagar nada, ¿verdad? Me imagino.
No, nosotros no pagamos nada. Nada más $1,000 de piso.
$1,000 de piso para poder caminar.
Sí.
O sea, eso es lo que están cobrando, $1,000 para poder caminar.
Sí.
Vaya, qué difícil. ¿Y ahora?
Pues nada.
¿A regresarse?
Regresarse para Guanajuato. Y volver a intentar, yo creo, dentro de medio año, más o menos.
Bien. O sea, para la gente que no cree que es una realidad que están haciendo un operativo en Estados Unidos, ¿qué les dices?
Pues Que sí, sí es verdad, que pues, la verdad yo creo ya ni lo intente. Es un poco feo.
Don't even try it anymore, he says. It's extremely difficult. He says I was the amount of money that they asked me that I was going to pay, it was $15,000. I didn't pay it. No, so his family. So this is the way that this mechanism with this traffickers coyotes works, right? So they tell the family members that they are in the U.S. This is how much I'm going to charge you. 15,000. As soon as I get him across, you need to deliver the money, right? But before that, I need 1,000 more. Do we need to pay the owners of that particular spot, the cartel that runs that spot? We need to pay him 1,000 for every migrant. So it's 16,000. So he got caught immediately by the Border Patrol, was returned back. And immediately as he was returned back, he lost $1,000. That's for sure. The 15,000, he never paid for it, but that's how much they're charging. And he says on the interview, they're charging more now. Why they're charging more? Because Donald Trump is in office. And it is extremely difficult to cross to the United States of America. He got deported immediately and even says to all the migrants, don't try to do it anymore. It is really difficult. There's a lot of Border Patrol. It looks like Border Patrol got the power back. This is another migrant from Mexico, from Chiapas. His experience is also sad, but they decided to go when you knew that this operation was going to start. Why you're going? If you already know as a Latino that you are going to get detained, why are you entering the country of the United States? Why are you still paying? Why do you want to pay $15,000? Why? Somebody's asking, is there another caravan of $2,000, 2,000 people coming? Yes, there is. We have video of it, and I haven't even posted because it is no use, and it's no use for it. They're going to get stopped. It doesn't even matter how many caravans you make; they're going to get stopped. I'm just being awfully honest. This is completely changing. This is another interview of another migrant. Listen to this, and I will translate. Estamos con un migrante que recientemente te acaban de deportar. Dinos tu experiencia, ¿qué pasó? We're with the migrant that just got deported. Tell us your experience. What happened?
No, pues el día martes ya tenía rato que nos reportaron. Nos reportaron, salí muy noche ya aquí, pues había unos compañeros ahí, pues ya íbamos juntos en el hotel, pues ahí. Unos conocidos que nos conocimos en Yuma, que estábamos ahí en la cárcel. Ya después venimos juntos ahí para a rentar un hotel ahí, right? Pues lamentablemente pues por allá nos agarraron bajo del puente, pues ahí.
¿Por dónde ¿Por dónde te cruzaste? ¿Por el cerro?
Sí, no por el cerro, por allá.
It's kind of, it's really difficult to understand the guy because he's saying, sadly, I was deported, I was detained, I was in a prison in Yuma, and they deported over here. So they're taking them to different detaining centers. Possibly he was taken to the one in Yuma. So they crossed him through a mountain that I have been there multiple times reporting. But sadly, I could not be reporting anymore because of the threat of the cartel consistently threatening us that they were going to shoot at us if we continue to report there, right? So this guy right here telling me that he got detained as he was crossing to that mountain, that particular mountain that I'm telling you guys. And from there, he was deported immediately. And he crossed, illegally.
No sé cómo se llama, por Aquililla. Ahí crucé ahí.
Nido de las Águilas.
Sí, el nido de las águilas, ahí por ahí. Pues lamentablemente salí todo bien, pues el error fue mío, no pedí el albergue con ellos, según que iba a ir en ¿cómo se llama? En un hotel, pues fue el error así, pues.
It's saying that, my mistake was not to go to the shelter and do the process correctly, and they were going to take me to a hotel. And that was my mistake. They believe on the cartel, man. This is the thing. The normalization of this illicit and illegal conduct by the Biden administration has a collateral damage, and this is the collateral damage. People dying in the Darien Gap, people dying being extortioned and kidnapped by the cartel, women being raped, women being abused, and the consequence is this: they end up stranded at the border, deported, returned back, believing in the cartel that they are their friends, and the Biden administration has completely normalized this ideology of crossing through the Rio Grande River, jumping a wall, crossing through the desert in Arizona, New Mexico, crossing through an open border gap in Jacumba, California. They normalize this. And now the consequence is, well, yeah, I'm sad I got deported. I just got stuck, and it was on Tuesday, so that means that this guy crossed on the day that Donald Trump was inaugurated. On that day, this guy wanted to cross. He did not know, and the cartel is not going to tell him. There's a massive operation that it's almost impossible now to cross. They're not going to tell him. They're going to make money. Cartel are vicious, man. The organized crime is vicious. They do not want this to be stopped. There's a guy right here that wants to normalize this situation. Let me just get this guy on the screen. It says, shut up about the cartels. That has been the way for years. And that is the justification of an incompetent individual like this one who wants to justify this to continue. That's the justification of a progressive liberal that has always said and says, shut up, don't say anything. Trafficking has always happened, so stop talking about it. So trafficking needs to continue. Shut up, don't say anything. The abuse towards migrants at the border has always happened, and migrants continue to die, so we need to shut up and just make it continue. This is because of these incompetent comments and these incompetent individuals. This problem continues to exacerbate. Now, a lot of the people have said about this plane that it was going to specifically land in Mexico, and it didn't land in, and it was coming from the United States. So apparently a lot of misinformation said that Mexico did not allow the plane to land, and it was miscommunication with the tower, and apparently some permits and all this kind of stuff. Mexico is accepting the deportees. It is not like Colombia that is not. I just told you right here, they're deporting massively, and we have been reporting on this for the whole week. And this is a shelter which they accommodated already for the nationals, the Mexican nationals, which they are going to be deported. It has a capacity for almost 2,800 people. So it's a lot. And there's another shelter, which just visited with Chuck Colton, has a capacity for 3,000. So it is, Mexico is allowing the people to come back. And they are facilitating some shelters with offices. It says, let me pause this. Look what it says right there. It says, are you searching for a job? Are you searching for a job? And on top it says, the Service National of Employment, which this is awesome, because if immediately you get deported and immediately you get returned back, they are offering you a job. Immediately they are telling you, hey, there's a job right here. You can start working. You can now start working. So they have an office for you to get a job. So as soon as you get deported, you have an office to immediately go and ask for a job. So you will not be wandering around and seeing if you want to cross back illegally to the United States. They can offer you a job. So I believe that's great. If they're deporting, now the Mexican municipal city of Tijuana is accepting this responsibility. And basically they have kitchen, as you see right here. The National Guard is the one that is, these are kitchen National Guard officials, which they are basically preparing and prepping the meals for the migrants. It is, it's all of it. It is, let me pause right there. It says, Army, Air Force, National Guard, right there. So, it tells you that the government of Mexico, it is taking, because this is it's a federal topic. So the government of Mexico is actually being responsible with the deportees of Mexico. So they're now having, all of it is guarded by the federal government of Mexico. All of it. All of it is guarded. The whole shelter is guarded by the federal government of Mexico. And this interview was, with one of the people in charge of the shelter. And it's a question of time for people that they're asking, well, there was just another caravan. Yes, another caravan just left the south border of Mexico, around 2,000 of these individuals. But they still want to go to the central parts of the country. They say that, right? We want to go to the city of Mexico. We don't want to go all the way to the north borders. We want to go to the center parts of the country of Mexico. The thing about it is that if you go to the central parts of the country of Mexico, what are you going to do there if you don't even have a permit to work? So inevitably, the ultimate goal is to go all the way to the north borders. All the way. And, this is going to happen. Trump is going to see that there continues making caravans, and he's going to just check the numbers on the border. Because Donald Trump doesn't care what happens in Mexico. If these caravans are being made, as long as they don't arrive and the massive entrances to the south border of the United States doesn't get bombarded, he's going to go with the numbers, right? He's going to say we're in a decline of mass illegal entries, but they're making 6 caravans on the south border of Mexico. I don't care about that as long as they don't reach my border. That's Mexico's problem. That is not my problem, right? So this is where we have to pay attention to the statistics and the stats that they're going to come in the first trimester. The first trimester, it is going to be extremely important to see how it has declined and if these caravans are actually reaching the south border of the United States. Because Trump is going to say, they're making 20,000 caravans in Mexico. They're reaching our border? No, they're not. I don't care. They're staying in Mexico. I don't care if they make 75 million, as long as they don't reach my border. Because if they start reaching my border, now I need to move into Exhibit B, that is the threat of a tariff. I am now going to put a threat of a tariff into Mexico if they do not slow down. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Oscar Blue for my platform, Oscar Blue Ramirez News, and also for Real America's Voice News. Has been raining the whole day. We were outside since early in the morning. And has been raining since early in the morning. We has been working since 4:30. I was up. 5 o'clock, I started going out. 5 minutes warming up the car, getting everything ready. 10 minutes. 5:15. Left at 5:20. Went and picked up Chuck Holton, and we started working since really early in the morning. He had hits with Newsmax early in the morning. He had hits all day with Newsmax. So we have been working since early in the morning. I wanted to do this live feed right now. Let me take a picture of this, man. We got almost like 3,000 people right here. So let me take a picture. Let me just smile right here. Right there. Got like almost 3,000 people right here watching. Thank you so much. Buy Me a Coffee is right there, pinned in the chat for people who want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. We're going to be traveling soon. Your contributions is much needed. We need for travel. We need for travel and equipment. So, thank you so much for your contributions. It's right there, pinned on the chat on YouTube and also on Facebook for people that want to help me out. We want to go to several borders in the Mexican side to show the actual deportations. in from the United States and Mexico. And also, we want to go to the south border and check out how they are handling the intake. Ultimately, our goal is also to go to Colombia, to go to these places also, to check out the reaction now that they're going to have with the returnees of their nationals also from Colombia, from Venezuela. So we're going to do the whole thing, but we need your support inevitably because we cannot do it alone. So you have the link right there. Truly appreciate it if you guys can contribute and help. Questions I have, we have a little bit over 10 to 15 for questions. Let me remove myself. Let me drink a wow. Would the Mexican people rather be part of America or just leave it controlled by the cartels? No disrespect, just question. Two answers. America, it is a continent, it is not a country. You're talking about the United States of America. First and foremost, let me correct you on that. And the country of Mexico, it is the government, it is controlled a lot of it by the cartels. As you know, we have a lot of infiltration by the letter organizations of your country. And also the United States of America, it is also has an enormous problem with the organized crime and the cartel, because you are the number one buyer of fentanyl, you're the number one buyer of cocaine, and you're the number one untrustworthy country right now to trust unaccompanied children. You have more than 340,000 children missing. So no disrespect also to you, but it is no. Mexico is a sovereign nation, and it depends on its own. Why there's still caravans if they know Trump is not playing around? They think that they're going to make it. They think that something is going to happen, and they think that something is going to change, which is not. Do they have? We have Remain in Mexico again. Yes, you do. It needs. I don't know if it has already been. It's already been passed, but I think yes. Berquam been reporting on rap always. That guy doesn't rest. Also. Doesn't matter, Oscar. The U.S. is known as America for short. It matters. It doesn't matter to you, but to the whole world, it matters. The continent, it is called Continent of America. Educate yourself. It was done by Americo Vespucio, the people that discovered the continent of America. So I know that for small is known, for short, it is known as America. Congratulations for that. But if you're going to talk about a topic, just say your country's name correctly. And there's a lot of comments right here. They're trying to be sketchy. They're trying to be picky. They're trying to denigrate, one country to another. And I don't put attention to those comments because they're just trying to denigrate, the Mexican people or the Mexican country. And I don't think that is fair. We're working together to fight the same enemy that is the enemies of the globalists, the enemy by within, the evil communist Marxists. And, Jesus doesn't have color, doesn't have countries. Jesus came to die for our sins. And he was not brown, not white, not African American. He was Jesus himself. It was the Son of God. So stop pointing the finger and let's just fix the problem. Let's just fix the problem together. And if it is a domino effect and we need a leader, a strong leader like Donald Trump to fix a problem, so let it be. If we need a man like that, let it be. That's the only thing that I will do. And by the way, I'm just going to ban you, brother, because I had it with you. It's my live feed, man. So I can do whatever I want with my platform. God bless you. Mexican, let me just go and with the Mexico accepting funds. Okay. Gillo. Okay. Oscar, will you know if Mexico is accepting funds from the UN for the international organization in the field of migration? Yes, they are. Yes, they are accepting funds. They're part of the Global Compact on Migration, so they have enormous offices over here. So Godspeed, Oscar. Thank you so much. God bless you. Oscar, are you going to videotape live when the caravan arrives to the border? I don't think that they're going to arrive to the border. They're not. They're going to be dismantled as soon as they come. And it's not, I don't think that they are going to arrive. Really, they haven't been arriving massively. And it's called Ant Operation. Todd Ben's been reporting on it. Ha! Bravo, Oscar. The posse says truth on, brother. Truth on, brother. Love you. Hey, say hello to the War Room posse, man. The War Room posse. Say hello to the War Room posse, to every single one of the War Room posse. Hey, hey, hey. Where are you? I told you to message me, man. Where are you? You already in the States? Where are you, brother? Truge. Sounds like fudge. Trudge. Sounds like fudge. Say hello to the I died. How did that go? How did that go? Say hello to the great Chuck Holton, man. Everybody loves my impersonation of Chuck Holton. You know, a lot of people do a great Matthew McConaughey. But a lot of you love my impersonation of Chuck Holton. Hi, my name is Chuck Holton. Work for war correspondent. He has that voice, man, that commando, Rambo voice. That's my mentor. Go ahead and follow that guy, man. He's an incredible war correspondent. We got almost 3,000 people on the live. Go follow my mentor, man, Chuck Holton. The best information out there on world events. Oscar, would you consider accepting a position maybe with Michael Young here? I can't. I wish that I could. Where is the question? My God, where is the question? Where do you go? Slow down, man. Oscar, shallow poet. Will you consider accepting position maybe with Michael Young here in the USA to help dismantle the United Nations? Michael Young is over there in Panama. He sends me this video. Hello, sir. He's going at it with these demons, man. And that's the demon himself. That's the snake. That's the head of the snake over there in Panama, OIM. And not also OIM, the UNHCR, the United Nations. I always consider myself that wherever I participate, whoever I participate with, my circle is really small. So respect Michael Young also a lot. Respect everything that he has done. Oscar, has anyone thought to change name from Central America? Just thought, change to South America too. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Has anybody? Angel Eyes, 39 folks got assassinated for Mexico to get a woman Jew as president in a patriarchal Catholic country. It was not like that. It was 39. It was almost a little bit more than that. Political figures, and they were not. It has nothing to do with. If you're talking about the political candidates that they were assassinated for different positions in the government, it was not just for president. They were assassinated because they were linked. A lot of them with the cartel. A lot of them were, threatened by the cartel because they tried to do good. So it had nothing to do with. It had nothing to do with the president. You're doing the Gardner impersonation. There you go, Chuck. Oscar, we have to admit some cultures are better than others. Yes, the Mexican culture is one of the best in the world. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are a brave man, Oscar. Thank you. You are for your hard work. Thank you so much. Oscar working in Tacostan. Yeah, man. Hey, Chuck, just you gotta give it to me, man. I took you to the best taco places, and you cannot tell me that I did not take you to the best taco places. And I'm sorry, yes. I'm sorry, yes. And sorry to hit you in the face with that. Is yes. It is just yes. Our culture goes way years, and we have a really historic culture and beautiful culture. Let me go all the way to the bottom. Yes. Uh, I'm sorry. Yes. The answer is yes. Whatever you want to go around it, it's yes. uh, you can't lie about it, man. I took you to the best tacos. The best tacos. Questions, people? How are the lines coming back from Tijuana? I went there about a month and a half ago and took us 5 hours. They were about exactly the same, but it is going to get better because the inspections are, being meticulous right now, but they're going to use AI. This was actually reported on Newsmax by my mentor, Chuck Holton. The border agents are going to use AI. So it's going to be extremely facilitated now for a lot of the people and it's going to be more meticulous, the inspection, and more advanced, more technology advanced. But they're going to use AI now. So to the vehicle ports of entry where people are crossing legally with their documents, it's going to be way more advanced than what it is right now. How are the lines coming? Okay, let me just go right here. Where are you, man? Where are you, man? You went away. Okay. Do you sometimes feel like we're in the left behind the book series? No. I go to Mexico all the time. Just stay low profile. Why? It's a beautiful country. Uh, we have been doing that for the whole week. Is the caravan still coming towards the USA? They're trying, but it's not going to reach. First time listener, and you come highly recommended by a friend who lives in the Texas border. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much, Yvonne Esparza. God bless you, and hope that you liked our live feed. Do you think Mexico will start their own deportations? They have been doing that. And Guatemala is the first country that they have been deporting a lot of Guatemala citizens. There's a report right now going around on Charlie Kirk that they have found already, like, I don't know, like 40,000. I think that they said already, but I don't know. There's no video whatsoever or proof whatsoever of it. Not that I don't believe Charlie Kirk. Not that all the Charlie Kirk fans are going to be like, "How dare you?" No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying there's no more evidence, amplified evidence, or more ample evidence that we can just like, oh my God, there it is. I can do a report now. So as soon as they are, I will greatly and wonderfully do a report. Will Mexico take regular airlines, if not the army ones? Yes, they are taking every airline. The plane that was landing over here, apparently they had a issue with the permit and the communication with the tower, so that's why they did not let it land. Well, hopefully they will try now with this new government of the United States. If not, they're going to get tariffed. So thank you so much. Gary Kane says, stay safe. Thank you so much. Why does Mexico allow their caravans into the south? Well, it's a topic that it will take me an hour, more than an hour to develop. But I can tell you in a nutshell that Mexico is part of the global compact on migration, so they need people they're given the ability and the freedom to people to transit freely through non-ports of entry. So Let's read about the global compact and what is the issue and what's the whole gain and purpose to completely destabilize the border of the United States, because the end game is the United States, is not Mexico. Haven't figured it out. I will ask on Monday, tomorrow. Híjole. It depends. Do you like, what do you want? You want beach, or do you want culture? Do you want, what do you want? What do you expect? What do you want to go? That's, I'm not even going to put that on the screen. That's compromising my life. Mexico needs to get out of the drug business and they will do fine. The United States needs to stop buying it and we will do great. They took it away after a progressive, mercenary, activist, liberal did a hit piece on me on MSNBC and several leftist networks. I got brutally attacked, and I needed to hide for like 3 months for protection, for security of my life. I was, basically the in the line of fire. Really, she wanted to get me killed, so they deplatformed me in a lot of ways, and so they took it out. They took it away. Why you want to compromise me on that, man? I don't like to get on those topics. It's a really sensitive topic, so I'm not going to get into it. The only thing that I can tell you is that if they're doing it is because of one reason. So I don't want to get into it because it will, when you start saying what is in your heart, a lot of people do not want what is in your heart. They want what is pleases them. So every time that I speak with my heart. I don't speak, with political interest. And sometimes this doesn't land good on, on several different narratives and positions of a lot of people. And, you got guys like this guy that he's completely just trying to denigrate my country, continuously saying like Mexico is bad, why your country is so corrupt. And, you got people like this guy that, he's possibly a nice guy. I don't know. He has nice glasses and he looks like he is, I don't know, Mexican American or Hispanic, or I don't even know what you are. But, it's a matter of, I just told you, I said the United States of America is the number one buyer of fentanyl, number one buyer of cocaine, number one buyer of child pornography, number one buyer of sex trafficking, number one buyer of child trafficking. And we have a problem between two countries. So, we need to understand that it's not about pointing the finger, it's about fixing the problem. As soon as we stop pointing the finger and we start fixing the problem, it is because of that. I will take the time to address you. There is a part of I even had this conversation with Chuck today because I'm watching this series that is called The Chosen, that is about Jesus. And there is a part where Jesus goes to and he's standing at a pagan, whatever sacrifice place that the Romans used to use. And he asks his disciples, "Who am I?" And the disciples start responding like, you're son of Sakurai, or sent from, son of this and then this and that. And the only one that responded, bluntly, like going at Jesus, was like, "You're the Christ. You're the Son of God. You're this." And Christ went over there and he said, "Your name is going to be Peter now, as a rock." And I asked Chuck about that. Why he said that to him? Why he told him that he was the rock? And he said because on the place that he was there, he said, "This is going to be the rock of the church, and you're going to be the rock of the church. That landed with a little bit of envy in the disciples. And this goes to what I'm telling you, man. It's not the time to point the finger. It is, or to denigrate each other because one country is doing better and the other ones are not. It is a time to be humble and to teach us how to be great. You are being great right now, and God is providing you to be great. God is giving you a time to be great again. And don't tell me that your obligation now that you're going to be great is to denigrate other countries and to laugh at other countries that you're wrong. I think that you will be a better human being if you start making other countries also great to follow your example. Because the example of Jesus, he didn't ask for clothing, he didn't ask for money, he did not ask for nothing expensive. The only thing that he asks is you to follow him. So if you want to be a good leader, believe me, my man, you're not being a good leader right now. You need to be humble yourself and to be a good leader for other countries to follow you, to follow the great example that your country is going to be great. God bless you, my brother. Be humble. Need to learn that. Need to learn to be humble. Absolutely. You know, the Bible has so many examples now that I have been reading a little bit, and I've been watching this series, and I've been watching it consistently, nonstop, like an addict. And it has to do a lot with the Bible, you know. So I'm not a Bible reader. I'm not. I should be. I'm sorry, Jesus, that I'm not. But I should be more attached to it. But I'm trying to do my best. I'm going little by little. This is a great question. Do you see any NGOs leaving? Um, I haven't. I haven't seen them, but I haven't seen them in action like they used to be because they're going to be investigated and they're going to be audited. And that is a wish that I have been wishing for since I started seeing them taking advantage of our people. There was a question right here. U.S. stay inside, whatever. What a interesting question. I have a question. Are a lot of Mexicans that are currently in the U.S. staying inside whatever they currently are? If so, why this keeps them under the radar? Mira, there is a saying in Mexico, el que nada debe, nada teme. If you don't owe anything, you should not be afraid to go outside and play, man. El que nada debe, nada teme. If you're afraid to go outside and to do what you have to do is because you're hiding something, man. The United States of America is not a country of colors. It's a country that stands for God, and in the eyes of God, everybody's equal and everybody's the same. When you start seeing this problem because of color, and if you don't see this problem because of law and order, and there's a law and we need to follow a law, that's a difference. Because if you see this problem because of color and oppression and because of the minorities, and that's another problem. That's your feelings. When you see this problem for what it is, Marco Rubio is the Secretary of State, and he's a Cuban American. Dreams can come true. He's the embodiment of the American dream. Ted Cruz, Hispanic senator, very intelligent. There's the American dream. It has nothing to do with color. It has to do with following the fundamentals of the American dream. So America has always been about color. It's real. Yes, I can tell you, yes. To you, DQ, it has always been about the color. And the most beautiful color is the color of human beings and the color of Jesus. But the most beautiful color is the red, white, and blue and the stars that they have. I think that's, yeah, it has been always about that color. Last question. People that there are in the live feed. You know, it's right now when things are getting better and things are getting right. Now people come out with the division comments because it's the anger feeling that, you know, something is being done right and it was not done right when you were young or when you were at your moment at your pinnacle. And this is where we need to leave our personal interest and to find what our goal is and to find what we are here for. And if we are here to educate other people to be better, that's what we got to do, unite and be better. This is why I say it's not a time to point the finger, it's a time to be helping each other. And if the United States is a leader of the world, help me to follow this great leader that you are. Help me understand how can I be a great leader like you are. You know, to be a great leader is to teach. It's not to denigrate. It's not to bully. It's not to make fun of somebody else's culture. To be a great leader is to teach me to acknowledge my great culture and to give me the tools so I can farm, so I can work, so I can know how to do it, so I can imitate how to be a great leader. And then one day, you know, like a Mexican saying says, el alumno superó al maestro. The student will be better than the teacher. That's a great leader. Comment, questions? Psalms 91 over you and your turn and your team. If your voice is God's mission, he will protect you. God's plan is our mission. I made that statement before we entered the Darien the day before. We were having dinner. I remember that dinner. It was Michael Young, Matthew Tomlett, Matt Bracken, the great Matt Bracken, excellent writer, by the way. I didn't know that he was an excellent writer. I didn't know that. Chuck Holton told me that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. He's an acting, and I need to read a book about him. I sent a big hug to Mr. Matthew Bracken. He has a great heart. So, Matthew Bracken, if whatever you're listening, you know, send you a big hug. And it was Matthew Tomlin, one of my brothers, Matthew Tomlin. We were sitting down, and we will, somebody said you have to admit China is controlling the Panama Canal. No, it's not. No. Even Marco Rubio said it right now, man. Why you're lying? Why are you trying to make a point? No, it's not. Controlling some ports is not controlling the canal. Why are you lying about it? And lost my train of thought a little bit for a minute, but it's really important. Okay, so we were sitting there having dinner, and we were waiting for the permission to go inside the dairy, and we were not getting it. And we had dinner, and I said, God's plan is our mission. And 5 minutes later, the heroic Centerfront officials from the Panama came in, and they told us, we're going to walk with you. We give you permission. So God works in mysterious ways, man. Oscar, you have to admit now China is controlling the Panama Canal. No, it's not. Trump and Rubio have stated Hong Kong-based company controlled by CCP controls Panama ports. You just said it, man. You're contradicting yourself. Have you been to the canal? Have you been to the Canal de Panama? ¿Has estado en el Canal de Panama? I have been there. ¿Has estado? It's like me saying Disneyland. It just has two attraction sites. You're gonna be like, no, it doesn't. It has like multiple, and it's like, have you been to this? I know I haven't, but they told me. Have you been to the Canal? You just contradicted yourself, brother. You just said right here, Trump and Rubio. I just heard Rubio, his explanation, and on sitting down on Congress or in the Senate, he was asked about, and he said, the Panamanian people are not our enemy. They want to be our allies. And there's some ports that they're controlled by the Chinese companies. And he said, which we are concerned because they control several ports from the east and from the west of the entrance of the canal, of some entrances to some ports. And if it is a national emergency, we are afraid that they're going to control them and they're not going to let us shut them down. It is okay to get China out of it, man. I'm with you. China shouldn't be controlling no ports. But let's not speculate that they are controlling the whole canal. It's not like that. No, it's not. Why people get mad at that, man, when you say the truth? Yeah, but it's not controlling the whole canal. Otra vez. Oscar, they could shut down both sides in the canal and prevent U.S. Navy from entering. Yeah, but they're not controlling the canal. How they're going to shut it down? Do you know how they're going to shut it down? Have you been to the canal? This is mi pregunta. Have you been to the canal? Do you know how they're going to shut it down? Do you know if there's a possibility of shutting it down? That's my question to you. We live on speculation. They don't control the canal. They have ports, and it is concerning that China, it is there. It is concerning. Yes, it is extremely concerning, not only for the United States, but for the whole continent. Why? Because we don't want China to control our food, our goods, our international trade. We don't want that. No, sirree. They're not going to control it. I'm with you 100% on that. And they need to understand that they're not going to have more control of that canal. No, you are not. And the United States is going to do as much as they can for them to step away, step back. You're not here to take control of this. This doesn't belong to you. I'm with you 100% on that. But there was also speculation there were Chinese military there. That was a lie. And also there was speculation that they have control of the whole canal. That is a lie. Don't believe me. Go and read it yourself, brother. Don't believe me. Go to Michael Young, war correspondent Michael Young. He's there. I would love to get him over here, man. Get him on this broadcast, and he will explain to you, no, they don't have control of the canal. It is a threat. Yes, it's a threat. But they have different ports. We need to understand the real thing, man. Oscar, I'm Mexican. We have to learn to not take things personal and emotional. Por eso somos chingones, porque nosotros no somos mujercitas y no nos ponemos en cosas de sentimientos y emocionales. Simplemente valora quién eres y valora la cultura de las otras personas y valora que cada país tiene su enriquecimiento y tiene su valor. Porque nosotros tuvimos un imperio azteca que fue uno de los imperios más grandes en la historia y tenemos una historia tan enriquecedora. Yo no me voy a burlar de Guatemala, no me voy a burlar de Colombia, no me voy a burlar de Honduras, no me voy a burlar de Nicaragua, mucho menos me voy a burlar de El Salvador. Me gustaría platicarles de mi historia, platicarles de qué tan grande nuestra historia es. Mas, sin embargo, tus comentarios son para denigrar la historia, para denigrar al otro país que es menos, o para denigrar al otro país que no tiene las cualidades económicas o el Producto Interno Bruto como lo tienen los Estados Unidos. Es el orgullo de cada país, es la historia de cada país, por supuesto. Al igual que los Estados Unidos de América, con sus 4 founding fathers, han sido la historia para ser el país más grande que experimentó con algo que se llama libertad, que ningún otro país en el planeta lo ha experimentado más que ellos. Por eso el país de los Estados Unidos es un líder mundial y nunca va a dejar de ser un líder mundial porque nunca van a dejar de serlo. Pero también tenemos que tener el orgullo de nuestra nación, el orgullo de dónde venimos y el orgullo de nuestra historia. Y en vez de que seamos aliados, y en vez de que nos eduquemos el uno al otro, y en vez de que nos enriquezamos el uno al otro de nuestra historia, y cómo podemos ser grandes para que nuestra gente no sufra y no migre, y nuestras economías en algún momento sean tan enriquecedoras, y que nuestro problema que es de México, que es el crimen organizado y la corrupción, acabe, y que tú te sientes conmigo y me digas, Oscar, esta es la manera que le podemos hacer, en vez de educarnos y ayudar a nuestra gente, es la denigración. Tú estás del otro lado, de denigrar, de atacar, de tratar de hacer sentir menos. Eso no ayuda en absolutamente nada. Se llama humildad. Y es una de las cosas más importantes de un ser humano. Tu carta de presentación habla mucho cuando simplemente tú le sirves el café a la persona que es supuestamente menos que tú. Tú le das de comer, tú te quitas los zapatos, tú te quitas la chaqueta porque él tiene frío. Tú me hablas de que Oscar, los aztecas comían a otros, por favor. Qué vergüenza me das, mi hermano. Sí, tenían unas prácticas muy feas, así como los españoles vinieron y nos trajeron la peste. Vinieron y violaron a las mujeres aztecas y hicieron ataques atroces a nuestra cultura. Por el amor de Dios, edúcate, lee un poquito de historia y saca esa amargura y ese coraje que le tienes a México. Saca esa amargura y ese coraje que le tienes a México. Claro que eso no nos da orgullo, pero ¿sabes qué me da orgullo a mí de mi país? ¿Te lo digo? ¿Qué me da orgullo a mí de mi país? Me da orgullo a mí de mi país. Que a pesar de que fuimos conquistados por los españoles y se robaron todo, seguimos de pie. Que a pesar que vivimos un gobierno del PRI, del PAN, donde nos robaron absolutamente todo y nos fueron saqueados sobre la corrupción, seguimos de pie. Que a pesar que tuvimos un héroe revolucionario como Emiliano Zapata, que decía la tierra es de quien la trabaja, seguimos de pie. Que a pesar de que se perdió una guerra justa con los Estados Unidos y perdimos todos los territorios del norte, seguimos de pie. Y a pesar de que somos aplastados día a día por el crimen organizado y el cártel, aquí seguimos de pie, con nuestros frijolitos, nuestras tortillitas, y humildemente trabajando, seguimos de pie. Sabemos lo que es el bien, sabemos lo que es el mal. Pero simplemente, aquí lo más importante es tener la humildad. Te falta mucho. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. No somos víctimas. Bueno, yo creo que ya te di mucho tiempo, mi hermano. Yo creo que ya te di mucho tiempo. Muchísimo tiempo. Y ¿sabes qué? Este individuo ha estado viniendo todos los lives a nomás estar jodiendo, ¿no? A nomás estar tratando de darme, pegarme en mi orgullo, que no me lo vas a lograr. No lo vas a lograr. Yo creo que aquí el que se mira más mal eres tú. Y se mira pésimo, la verdad. Te miras pésimo y te miras súper mal. Saludos a todos ustedes. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I had to talk to this guy in Spanish. Somebody said, Oscar, this guy triggered this guy, and this guy triggered Oscar. It did not trigger me. I had to explain to him in Spanish. These guys, they don't have, they're kind of like, they want to act like they are on the right, but they're not. They're progressive liberals. And they're here to just trying to trigger and get you on that little button, on your pride button. And they are not, they do not humble themselves to understand that we need to be, we need to grow together, is to be great together. It is not a thing to just denigrate and treat others bad. God bless you, guys. I will leave. Thank you so much for joining in. It has been a great live feed. I'm going to do a live feed right now in Spanish in the X. I will do an X space talking about this specific topic in X. There's audience already waiting for me over there, so we are going to be in X right now as we speak. Stay safe, and like we always say, God's plan, it is our mission.